Hello again. I'm so excited. This is video number 3 of my challenge. Today, I want to talk about setting constraints to create a space of inspiration. Like right now, I feel very inspired because I created a constraint for myself. I created a challenge, really. And again, to repeat, the challenge was okay, I'm going to make 5 video topics that I will schedule out in the next few weeks because I've been so behind. Right now, this video is going to be about using constraints. I learned this technique from Brand 30 again, Andrew Newborn. And at first, I was resistant to it. It just felt like I couldn't be myself or I couldn't be free. But it was the complete opposite of that. It was creating some kind of structure to all this madness, all this craziness that's happening inside of my brain. Can it work? I mean, can you really use constraints in creating content or a post on LinkedIn? For me, I'm creating YouTube content for you and then taking that content actually and then repurposing it on LinkedIn. Here are my 4 tips to help you practice constraints. Number 1, your audience. The first thing that I always try to think of is, who am I going to talk to in this video? Who am I going to talk to when I'm writing this post? Right now, actually, I'm creating a video, freestyling this whole thing. I would also write a script, but I know my topic, and my topic is constraints. And when you set constraints, what can you apply it to? So right now, I'm applying constraints to creating content. My cohort, Brand 30, they would use constraints when they're writing content in copywriting. You can combine it, right? It is a hybrid approach. So thinking of your audience, like what is the purpose of this content? If I started this video with talking to my family or my friends, it would be a big miss because none of my friends and none of my family create content. They would have no idea what I'm talking about. I believe this happens a lot whenever I reshare my YouTube video on Facebook. It's happening right now. My friends and family, they're probably thinking, Zen, what are you talking about? But what they don't know is that I'm talking to salespeople on LinkedIn. That's what they don't know. They don't know that I'm taking the link and I'm actually repurposing it and publishing it on LinkedIn. Unless, of course, you're my friend on LinkedIn and you're also a salesperson, which you probably are, or you're a founder and we've worked together in the past. And so you would know if you have worked with me before. So it's important to know your audience. I'll give you an example. My wife wanted to do mukbang. For those of you who don't know what that is, let me give you an example. That is mukbang. So can you imagine if I just started doing that on my YouTube channel? All of my audience would be so confused. Like, what is Zen doing eating on her channel when her channel is all about providing sales tips, LinkedIn tips, YouTube tips, content creation tips? Constraint number 1, know your audience. Now, how do you constrain that? I've been having the hardest time actually. I talked to Andrew Muber. I'm like, look, so right now I work at localize.com. I'm a salesperson, but I sell Localize, a translation management system that helps companies go global. Do I talk about that? Do I talk about my sales skills? Like, what do I talk about? And he's like, honestly, I don't even know what product localization is. I don't know what that's all about. And right there, I knew that right now my audience, the people that are resonating with my content, are mostly salespeople, marketing people, and startup people. That's my constraints. All of my topic and my theme is usually going to be around that. And from time to time, I will experiment with things like Pomodoro, or I will experiment live streaming music. Why? Because I love music. I work and people love to listen to music. You work and you love to listen to music. And what else have I been experimenting with? Another constraint, Pomodoro technique. So that's my tip number 2. You've noticed that I've been releasing Pomodoro here, Pomodoro there. You're looking Pomodoro-able today. And that has helped me finish a lot of content write as much as I can in a very short period of time, 30 minutes, in fact, and then I'll take 5-minute breaks. It also has helped me finish my work at work in 30 minutes and then take a break and then go back to my next 30-minute meeting, for instance. It's really keeping me regimented. And I thought I didn't like regimented. I thought I didn't like structure, but I'm loving structure. I love structure. I can say it right now. Mom, I think I might be corporate material. Pomodoro is tip number 2. Tip number 1 was audience. Tip number 2, Pomodoro. Okay, tip number 3, topic and content. My topic and content, to me, it was all over the place in the beginning. Actually, I was focused a lot more on startups and founders. I've always wanted to learn their journey. That's because I'm a founder as well. I started a startup called Close One, and I'm trying to understand like what makes founders tick, what motivates founders, how did you start your idea? I began to attract people that are also interested in starting their own startup. So not too long ago, I spoke to a good friend of mine, Peck Pongfet, and we were talking about his new startup idea. And so I grew up in San Francisco. Everyone talks about startups, and that's why my topic and content is about startup. So for you, I would strongly recommend to think about your experiences as your topic and content. Talk about what you know or talk about what you're trying to learn. I am trying to learn YouTube, so I talk about it. I'm trying to learn LinkedIn algorithm, so I talk about it. I'm not an expert in it, but I'm just going to talk about it because I want to learn it. I'm genuinely interested and curious as to why my LinkedIn post would get 30,000 views 1 minute and 400 views the next minute. Next is tip number 4. This one is deadlines, constraint number 4, deadlines. So I told myself, literally, I'm going to create 5 videos like today, right now. But what I didn't tell you is I'm trying to finish all that by 12 o'clock. Right now, it is 11 a.m. I started about 20 minutes ago creating content, and right now it's 11 a.m. I have 1 more hour. So I'm probably going to hit my goal of getting 5 videos today. I'm probably gonna make more than 5 videos, and you're gonna see this outfit, which is pretty cool. And today is Saturday, so that's my final bonus tip, is to batch it all together. Because when you have those flow state where you're just inspired, like today I am inspired to create content, you will go, and you better not put a speed bump on yourself or get yourself distracted. And that's why Pomodoro is so important, because that's when the best ideas come out. And so that's it. That's your tip for today, and that ends this video. So I'm off to video number 4. Until next time, peace.